Welcome to Tesla Global, the home of Tesla news. Today we take a look at the F-150 Lightning and the Cybertruck side by side. Without hesitation, let's get into the video. Ford F-150 Lightning versus Tesla Cybertruck, side-by-side comparison. Several electric pickup trucks are slated to hit the market later this year, but the two models everyone's talking about are Ford's F-150 Lightning and Tesla's Cybertruck. They're pretty different vehicles, to say the least, and there are plenty of point-by-point comparisons coming out. In a recent recap, I discussed the different design aesthetics of the two trucks, and the conventional wisdom that they will appeal to two different sets of buyers. Now CNET's Roadshow has weighed in with a video that focuses more on the announced specs of the two contenders. This ends up being something of an apples to oranges scenario, because Ford has released some pretty detailed specs, whereas Tesla has been more vague. CNET's narrator, like much of the media, is extremely indignant about Tesla's lack of a PR department, and makes her opinion known with a succession of snarky comments. Both models will have different battery options. The Ford F-150 Lightning comes with two motors, and with the largest battery option, the expected range is 300 miles. The top-trim Tesla Cybertruck ups the ante with three motors and a range of up to 500 miles. Drivers who are considering going electric always want to know how long it takes to charge, and most automakers are happy to quote estimates, with an asterisk and a bunch of fine print at the bottom, of course. CNET notes that Ford has offered pretty detailed information about estimated charging times, whereas for Tesla, they have to form an estimate based on the specs of existing models. Comparing charging times, especially for two vehicles that aren't even on the road yet, is probably pretty pointless anyway. There are just too many variables that affect charging rates, and that's why, in my writings, I generally don't even mention automakers' estimated charging times. Charging time is something prospective EV buyers care a lot about, but current EV owners seldom think about. At home, it takes overnight. On the road, it takes a sandwich and a cup of coffee, 2 cups if your battery's really low. When it comes to power and torque, Ford says the F-150 will deliver 563 horsepower and 775 pound-feet of torque. Tesla hasn't given any firm figures for Cybertruck, but CNET estimates about 800 horsepower and 1,000 pounds to foot. What about acceleration, that all-important parameter for a pickup truck? In this department, you can count on Tesla to be very specific, down to the nanosecond. The Ford is expected to do 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds, the Tesla in 2.9. The F-150 Lightning is pretty close in size to the legacy F-150. In overall length and width, Cybertruck differs from the F-150 by only an inch or two. The Ford is about 4 inches taller. Elon has said that the dimensions of the production version may be different from those of the prototypes we've seen. Judging by the announced specs, Cybertruck looks more off-road capable. There's a big difference in ground clearance, 9 inches for the Ford, up to 16 inches for the Tesla with the optional air suspension. Cybertruck also sports wider approach and departure angles. When it's time to haul something, other than ass, Cybertruck claims more capacity, 3,500 pounds of payload, compared to the F-150's 1,800 pounds, and 14,000 pounds of towing capacity, compared to 10,000 pounds. How much will towing decrease range? Neither automaker has said, and it probably depends on multiple factors. Pickup experts have noted that a fossil vehicle can see a gas mileage hit of up to 50% when towing a large trailer. What's the bottom line? Ford says the base F-150 Lightning will start at $39,974, plus a destination charge. If you opt for the extended range battery and all the goodies, you can pay as much as $90,000. Tesla's starting price is about the same, $39,900 for the single-motor RWD version, $49,900 for the dual-motor AWD, and $69,900 for the tri-motor AWD. Add another $10,000 for the full self-driving package. As CNET, among others, notes, Tesla's prices are never set in stone, and the company tends to produce higher margin, option-loaded versions first, most automakers do, for a new model, so you probably won't get a Cybertruck delivered for $39,900 anytime soon. Which truck wins the smackdown? Look at the specs and decide for yourself, or if you're the patient sort, wait until you can test drive both before parting with your $40,000. Both electric pickups should be available less than a year from now, and one thing's for certain, the automotive world will never be the same. Tesla expects high demand in the USA in Q3. Tesla is increasing the prices of the Model 3 and Model Y in the USA again. Tesla is also not exporting any Model 3 or Model Y from Fremont to Europe. All Fremont exports are going to Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. Europe receives its Teslas exclusively from Shanghai. That markets close to Shanghai are supplied from Fremont is likely a political issue. Not all China's neighbors are in love with China. Supplying Europe from Shanghai is more likely a production issue. It would place too big a strain on the availability of vehicles for the North American market. Expected delivery is often in September, and could flip to October soon. It is possible that Tesla will commission a few shipments from Fremont to Europe later in the quarter. But it is probably better to keep shipping from Shanghai because the made-in-China models resemble more closely the products that will come out of Giga Berlin. The reason that Tesla has decided to supply Europe only or mainly from Shanghai is likely the high demand in its home market. Tesla fans like me should be happy about this demand, but also realize that Tesla market share in the USA BEV market is not normal and not healthy. It shows that other car makers, like Hyundai, VW, Audi, Porsche, Kia, Jaguar, Volvo, and Mercedes, still have insufficient access to the market. They all have products that should sell well in this market. They have a sales channel big enough to sell at least 10 times the numbers they are selling now. Tesla really needs Giga Texas to start production before the Biden plan to restore incentives becomes law. That will create a rush on Tesla, with even better margins for the near future. This is great for shareholders, but not so great for the transition. We need a wide palette of models and versions to choose from. Biden's infrastructure bill encourages Detroit OEMs to increase EV sales by 2030. Recently, US President Joe Biden tweeted that big news would be announced soon about the country's future with electric vehicles. Detroit's big three OEMs plan to make a big announcement of their own, relating to their increased EV targets by 2030. When I say electric vehicles are the future, I'm not joking, tweeted President Biden. Tune in for the big news tomorrow. General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis, Chrysler's parent company, doesn't seem to think Biden is joking. Detroit's big three automakers plan to make a big announcement as well. Sources familiar with the matter told Reuters that the big three aims to increase their electric vehicle sales by 40% to 50% by 2030. The goal to increase EV sales comes amidst an effort to gain billions in US government assistance to help the transition to electric vehicles. Congress has been finalizing the president's proposed bipartisan infrastructure bill for the last few weeks. The $550 billion infrastructure bill is an extensive piece of legislation, including significant investments in EV infrastructure and building a clean electric grid. For instance, the bill includes a $7.5 billion fund to manufacture and install electric vehicle charging stations. GM, Ford, and Stellantis plan to make a joint statement that EV targets are dependent on additional government support for EVs and the charging industry. However, the wording of their statement could still change before the announcement. Traditional OEMs, like Detroit's Big Three, are spending billions on the transition to producing electric vehicles. Tesla, which only produces electric vehicles, has a wide lead in the EV industry. Tesla also established some of the traits associated with modern electric vehicles that consumers have come to expect, like a more tech-savvy infotainment system, which legacy automakers still seem to find challenging. Do you think the Cybertruck will compete with the F-150 in terms of sales? Or will it perform better or worse? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like on the video, and if you are new to the channel, then Shoutout subscribe to help us grow. Thanks for watching.